Good morning, Year 6. Today is the 9th of July 2020. We're continuing our unit on financial literacy, and today I'd like you to consider the benefits and the disadvantages of money. So for today's lesson, you'll need your pencil, paper, thinking hat, and that's it. We're ready to learn. So if you remember yesterday, we looked at bartering and how things we own can be used to buy things rather than using money. Well, Carl McDonald, if you remember, he managed to swap a paperclip for a house. So I want you to think, do we need money? Yes or no? And why do we or don't we? What do you think about money? And do you think it's a good thing or not in society? We'd love to hear your opinions. So have a look on screen. Which would you rather pay with? How would you pay for goods and services? Do you think it's better to barter, to have to haggle over what it is you want to buy? Or do you think it's better to pay with coins and banknotes? I want you to pause the video here and just think about your answer there. What do you think is better? Money is just a tool in society which is used to purchase goods and services. It's neither good nor bad. It's simply a tool. So it's really important that even though we're learning all about money, we need to know the value of money, but we shouldn't give too much value to money. So there's a quote on screen: know the value of money, but don't give value to it. And I want you to just think about what that might mean. To know the value of money, but to not give too much value to it. And then I'd like to set you a challenge. And your challenge is to come up with a short story. One day, a group of students stumbled upon a hoard of Roman coins while walking down a country lane. They know that these coins are worth a lot of money. On the way home, each student discusses what they would do with the money, specifically focusing on what good they could do in their community by putting that newly found money to a good cause. They could also buy a special gift for their families. What will they choose? So I want you to think of a little short story there and tell me what the students choose to do and why they make that choice. So every country has some form of currency. There are lots of reasons why countries choose to have money, including money because it's a store of value, meaning we always know what it's worth. Remember we talked about the sun cream in our first lesson. It prevents cheating by using standard sizes, meaning everyone knows how big a 10p piece should be. So everyone knows what to expect. Everyone knows and they can't be cheated, or less likely to be cheated. I wouldn't say it's impossible. And it's easier for government to collect taxes versus physical goods. So it might not be fair to collect 2 chickens in tax from one person and 2 bags of flour from someone else. Money can be used to purchase goods and it can be used to purchase services. And physical money defines a country and its history and culture. Remember we talked about what is represented on the money and what's shown on the money and how that reflects the country. Money is easier to keep safe because it's easier to keep some coins and some money in your pocket, some cash, rather than keeping maybe a chicken in your backyard or on your balcony. And money is easier to use than bartering. Different nations can use money to trade goods. But will we always use money? What do you think? Nowadays, many people use bank cards, so they might use credit and debit cards, as well as using physical money. We can also now use contactless payments. That means we don't even have to insert the card in the card holder anymore. We can just simply bring it near to the machine, and we can use that to buy things. We can even use our phones. In some cases, we can even use our watches now. Contactless payment actually surpassed cash payments for the first time in 2016. That means more people use contactless payment rather than using cash. So they still use their money quotation marks, but it was spent without even using any real money. And even without physical money, we still have a currency, which is the Great British Pound. So we are not bartering. Did you know that it cost the Royal Mint, which is where all the money is made in the UK, it actually cost them more money to produce the penny than the penny is actually worth? Canada and Brazil have got rid of the penny for this very reason. And some people think that we should and will in the future get rid of all money and just use cashless payment. Now, we can see now with COVID-19 going on, lots of people are choosing not to carry money because they don't want to have to touch it and exchange it. And now many people shops are actually encouraging people to use contactless payment. So maybe this might come about very, very soon, or maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see. So your task today, imagine we had never developed money. What would you use to buy these 5 things? If you wanted a haircut, what would you use? What could you possibly trade? If you wanted a bag of crisps, or a new pair of trainers, or a pencil case, and a new PS4 game. Remember to write your answers in full sentences. Do you think we should keep the penny coin? I'd like you to create a table listing the reasons to keep the penny and the reasons not to keep the penny. Make your conclusion at the end. So that's at the end, considering both ideas, you need to think about whether or not, what's your decision at the end. You remember when we looked at whether or not animals should be kept in zoos, we had to think of our arguments for and against, and then come to a conclusion at the end. And then I'd like you to write a short paragraph describing what you think the world would be like if, in the future, all physical banknotes and coins disappeared completely and all payments were contactless. And as an extension, if you're still not tired after all of that, imagine a world where all the money magically disappeared, and write a short story about a day in the life of someone, yourself, a child, or an adult in this world. To email us your work at the email address shown on screen. Have a great day.